Thank you all for being here. Today we'd like to highlight some tremendous work being done by the department in 2025. I'm happy to report that crime overall was down in nearly every category in 2025 compared to 2024. In 2025, the city experienced a 22.6% total decrease in property crime compared to 2024, which includes a 39.2% decrease in burglaries and a 31.5% decrease in motor vehicle thefts. Last year, in 2025, we experienced 16 homicides, 43 non-fatal shootings, and 98 incidents of confirmed shots fired. While we did encounter one more homicide in 2025 than in 2024, these numbers represent a decrease of 51.7% in non-fatal shootings and a 45.6% decrease in confirmed shots fired compared to 2024. Additionally, during 2025, there was a combined total of 17 arrests or exceptional clearances made for homicides by our Detective Bureau. Of the 16 murders that occurred in 2025, 10 have now been solved by arrests or exceptional clearances, representing a 62.5% solvability rate in 2025. It's important to note that the national average for solvability for homicides lies at around 58%. Compared to 5 years ago, 2025 experienced a 64.5% decrease in non-fatal shootings, a 64.2% decrease in confirmed shots fired, and a 51.8% decrease in robberies. These decreases are significant because any act of gun violence could result in someone being hurt, injured, or worse. Looking back even further, we are experiencing 10-year lows in several areas, including non-fatal shootings, robbery, aggravated assaults, and confirmed shots fired. We attribute these successes to several combined factors. We feel that the community is talking to us more and providing vital information when needed. We have expanded our technological capabilities by adding more cameras, license plate readers, shot spotter expansion, drones, Star Chase, and the mayor has been great by supporting all of these programs for us. These have all contributed to being able to process crimes faster, more efficiently, and have helped us lead to make quicker arrests. We have been working collaboratively with other area agencies to include our Regional Auto Theft Task Force, as we recognize that many of our problems do not lie in the city but our surrounding towns as well. As we share those issues, we work collaboratively together with other law enforcement agencies. As always, we work directly with the New Haven State's Attorney's Office on a regular basis, and we thank them for the continuous guidance and support throughout the years. Additionally, what's contributed to the decline in violent crime is the work we do on prevention. And the prevention is done by working with our partners, CTVIP, Project Longevity, Office of Violence Prevention, YARD, our Clergy Academy. They're great and they work with us hand in glove. Although we feel we've made some tremendous successes this past year, there's more work to be done, and there's always room for improvement. And as I reflect back, I could not be prouder of the men and women of the New Haven Police Department. This community trusts us to keep them safe, and we are honored to provide that at a high level. Mayor Elicker.
Thanks, Chief Zannelli. So, good afternoon, everybody. And as folks know, every year we have this press conference where we share publicly the statistics, the progress we're making, the challenges that we have. And last year we made an incredible amount of progress. And I'm really grateful for the work that everyone in this building is doing. Last week was a rough week, as we all know, but the New Haven Police Department goes full steam ahead and continues to do the work to make sure that our community stays safe. I've been going to lineups to speak with the officers, as has Chief Zannelli and the assistant chiefs, and to express my gratefulness for the work that they are doing, and to underscore that we need to continue to do this work. First, I want to thank Chief Zannelli and the command staff of the men and women of the police department. Every single day, 365 days a year, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, the men and the women of the police department put themselves at risk, put their lives on the line to keep us in the community safe, oftentimes under very challenging circumstances. To give you an idea of how much work they do, in 2025, the New Haven Police Department had 103,576 calls for service. That is an incredible number of calls. approximately 283 calls per day. I also want to thank everyone in the city government because this is a team effort. As Chief Zannelli said, it is not just the police department that works on crime prevention and violence prevention. This is a collaborative effort across many departments. So the chief highlighted a lot of the details. I wanted to highlight some particular items. So the big picture, while we have a lot more work to do, we continue to make significant progress in reducing crime across New Haven. Year over year, overall crime is down 23% from the year before, from 2024 to 2025. Violent crime is down over 39%. Property crime is down over 22%. And other types of crime are also down 22%. Crime is down in every single subcategory with the exception of homicides, where regrettably we had one more than the previous year. Gun violence, again, we have a lot more work to do, but gun violence is at its lowest level in a decade. And folks know how, because a lot of you have been covering this for quite some time, how we measure gun violence. It is homicides in addition to non-fatal shootings, in addition to shots fired, that we use to get a general measure of how we are progressing on gun violence. In 2025, across all three categories, gun violence-related incidents are down over 44%. 157 incidents in 2025 versus 284 incidents in 2024. That's a 44% decrease. There was an increase in homicides. Went from 15 to 16 people that were tragically lost in our city. A significant 51% decrease in non-fatal shootings, going from 89 in 2024 to 43 in 2025. And a 45% decrease in shots fired, from 180 in 2024 to 98 in 2025. As I said, it's the lowest level of gun violence that we have seen in a decade, and I'd also note that during this time period, we also expanded ShotSpotter in the city, and so we are actually picking up more shots fired now than we used to, and even with that expansion, we're seeing these numbers go down. Property crime and quality of life issues. New Haveners rightfully expect a high quality of life, and we take these issues very, very seriously. When people get interrupted by ATV and dirt bike riders, people experience a theft of a vehicle, a car recklessly speeding down the street, noise blaring. We take these things very, very seriously, and have done a lot of work increasing fines, increasing motor vehicle stops, new laws, new approaches to tactics, engineering as well to force people to slow down on our streets, and supporting our young people with jobs, programs, and interventions. We've done a lot of work, and we're seeing that work make progress. In 2025, we had a notable reduction in property crime, 22% decline, driven by the progress we're making in reducing motor vehicle theft by 31%, which is a significant challenge that we faced after COVID, as folks realize. Through our work with the ATV, Dirt Bike, and Regional Task Force, we seized 183 illegal off-road vehicles and crushed 70 of those vehicles, with another 130 in the queue to destroy. Many of you were there when we crushed the first vehicles. In burglary, we see a 39% reduction. So we're making unbelievable progress. That being said, we are not taking a victory lap. And I want to be very clear about this because there's been times in the past where we have regularly shared this data, and I think it's important to highlight the work that is going on in this building because our officers are putting themselves at risk every day, and it's important to congratulate them on this work. But we have more work to do. And oftentimes we've had an incident that happens after this press conference, and then there's criticism, oh, that we haven't solved crime in the city. We have not said we have solved crime in the city. We have not said we have completely addressed violence, but we are making significant progress, and I think that's important to acknowledge for the people that are working in this building. I'd also underscore that we have a more holistic approach than ever to confronting violence in our city. We have a multi-pronged approach that is multi-agency, a whole systems approach. Elm City Compass has responded to 1,675 calls for service in 2025. It's been a huge help to allowing us to support people that have struggles with mental health, with substance abuse, and with housing challenges. And we've also have a very significant collaborative approach with many of our surrounding towns. The shooting task force, the auto theft task force, dirt bikes and ATVs task force. So we thank them for their partnership. As I look ahead, I'm hopeful for us to continue to build on this progress. The hard work of everyone in this building will continue. And we have a lot of work ahead, but we're also implementing new programs as well to continue this work. We continue to install more cameras in the city that have been hugely helpful, as the chief said, to solving crime. 425 of the new 500 cameras are up and running at this point. Implementation of red light and speed safety cameras, you'll see that very soon. Implementation of school bus stop arms is also going to be rolled out imminently as well. So we're making progress. We've got a lot more work to do. As I have done every year, I finished this press conference by reading the names of, in this year, the 16 individuals that we lost to gun violence. These are individuals that have had families that are still loved, even though they were not with us in our community. And I'd ask you to listen to the names and then join me for a moment of silence, please. Raviteja Koyata, Cedric Goodwin, Clifford Capehart, Karan Troutman, Aaron Robinson, Naisha Mendez, Javer Smith, Domingo Torres, Dylan Cornelius, Dennis Atkinson, Daquan Hyman, Ernest Williams, Raquan Chapman, Caden Phillips, Alexa Acevedo, and Jennifer Adams. May they rest in peace. Thank you. I'd like to open up to on-topic questions, and then we can take off-topic questions after that. But are there any on this topic questions?
Could you elaborate any more, if possible, on, I know we've mentioned that the overall violent crime is down, which, you know, you can give some credit to, but it looks like motor vehicle thefts spiked, and they're still kind of high, but they're coming down. So that looks like the area where there's a lot of activity. Could you talk a little bit more about what's being done to try to...
Sure, and I'm sure the chief can add, but this was a nationwide trend that we saw post-COVID. And as folks are well aware, there's some of this was driven by the Kia Boys and viral videos where young people could easily hotwire a car and steal those cars. And we've worked very hard with our partnering towns on a task force that we created to acquire the vehicles that have been stolen and make arrests, and we've made a lot of progress. We still have more work to do here in a number of ways. I think one of the biggest challenges is that the young people that are stealing these cars oftentimes are arrested, and there's a slap on the wrist, and they get out the next day. And so we are trying to push our partners in the judicial system to help keep people in for longer so that we can have a reset and make sure that they're on the right track. And we're also working very hard to ensure that the young people are connected with youth programs. And Chief, I don't know if you have anything to add.
Thank you, Mayor. Yeah, that's quite right. You know, we try to focus on the habitual offenders. A lot of our work as of late has been focused on prevention and getting them out of this cycle. So right now we're working with YARD to identify the most at risk to get them services to show them a better way. It's great to make an arrest, but it's even better for no crime to occur in the first place.
And I have a follow-up question for the homicides. You mentioned the clearance rate. Could you go over that again? And for the arrest, you used a term, arrest.
Exceptional clearance.
Yeah, can you explain what that is?
So what exceptional clearance means is, in our reference, is that when you have a suspect that you believe is responsible for the crime, that person has passed away, you're unable to charge them criminally. So.
And then there was 12 arrests or exceptional clearances.
So we had 10, we had 17 total, but 10 of the 16 in 2025, which represents the 62.5% clearance. Make sense? Yes, ma'am.
Could you explain the shot scanner thing that you had mentioned earlier? So how exactly are
Shot spotter?
Shot spotter, sorry, yes.
Spotter.
Shot spotter.
So Shot Spotter is a gunshot detection system. It triangulates on a location. It's pretty pinpoint for us. So it allows officers to go exactly where the gunfire occurs very quickly. Our officers have this on their cell phones, their work cell phones, so they're able to go right away, and it's very helpful for us in criminal investigations because we can find crime scenes immediately.
And that just based on like the sound, or does like a citizen have to report that a shot was fired?
It's automatic. So we have sensors spread out through the city, and even though we've expanded this program, gunfire continues to go down. So in times past, we were unable to track these as confirmed gunshots in the past. Now we have it where we know exactly where it is right away, and we get there quickly. And that's also helped us to increase our arrest rate for the habitual violent offenders because we're there quickly and exactly in the area we need to be.
Do you have any statistics on youth crime? I know some of the gun violence that have happened over the past year have been involving teenagers. Do you have anything about that, and also what you're working on to prevent teenagers from getting guns and being involved in this violence?
So Project Longevity does have a program that focuses on youthful offenders and juveniles. We do that. We work hand in glove with the Board of Ed and YARD, the Youth and Rec Division, to identify the ones that are most at risk. And sometimes you need a credible messenger. You don't always need a police officer to tell them. It doesn't have to be me and my officers necessarily telling people there's a better way. We want the right person to get that message through. So it's a coalition of everybody to identify the most at risk and to make sure we do everything we can to get the parents on board, to get school on board, and to make sure we get them out of the cycle.
President Trump and the DHS have claimed that crime is down, especially in blue cities, because of immigration enforcement efforts or various other things that the administration has done. Do you think that's accurate when it comes to New Haven?
So crime is down, that is accurate. But the reasoning is ridiculous. And if you see what's going on in Minneapolis, it frankly is terrifying. It looks like a war zone in Minneapolis. We have been fortunate that while there have been some ICE arrests in New Haven, we have not seen the kind of activity that we have seen in other cities. But President Trump is actively, including last night, trying to stop public safety money from coming to our city. President Trump is trying to defund our police. And we have sued the Trump administration and have a preliminary injunction to make sure that that does not happen. So President Trump patting himself on the back for that, along with all the other things he claims to do that it has nothing to do with him, is a lie to the American people. Crime is down because there are people locally across the nation that are working very, very hard to ensure that our cities and towns are safe. On-topic question, or off-topic questions.
Are there any updates on the investigation of Carl Jacobson?
So nothing substantive. We're having regular, or not we, because I'm not having that regular, but the PD is having regular interaction with the Connecticut State Police, providing them with everything that they need. They've conducted some interviews, and we are cooperating to the fullest extent. We're also, I mentioned in the past, working to engage an outside organization to help evaluate the confidential informant program, and those conversations are ongoing. As you can imagine, we want to do so quickly. But I don't think I have anything else substantive at this moment. Anything else? Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks so much, everybody.
Thank you.